Hello, welcome back to my commentary on Willow Gardens. Last week we had a look at the front plaza here and the progress made on that. And this week we'll be exploring this little area here. This area is sort of the more family area of the park. In the lore of the park, it was perhaps an older section of the park that was originally a fairground. Perhaps the park originally was just Botanic Gardens, but it then became a Botanic Gardens with a fairground attached and then moved on from there. But yeah, I kind of justify that through these buildings here that I kind of just created just because I didn't really know what sort of buildings to build. So I just, started building and figure that they kind of look a little bit more, a little bit older and perhaps like they've been here for a while. So then I created that make-believe story around it to justify them. But yeah, we've got this little plaza here. The kiddie Ferris wheel. I really hope that they give us some more options of kids' rides and family rides. While I would never really ride this, well, I can't say never, I object to it, but it would be the first ride that I'd go for at a theme park in real life. I really like being able to make fully fleshed out family areas in my parks, and at the moment there's sort of slim pickings for just smaller family fairground sort of rides to add to the park. So hopefully they'll give us maybe even a pack of family rides. Yeah, so at the end of this courtyard there's this family train, and I really like that they've added this family train because it just gives you options to make a more compact layout that's not using the huge sort of transport style trains. And they're sort of open air and you can take the kids on it. Yeah, so for this train I kind of really lent into the gardens aspect of the park, decided to make it meander through sort of cultivated gardens and practice at making sort of nice garden beds and also some waterfalls, trying out the different options with water, and I really do like how it looks. Like, to me that kind of does look quite realistic, and I really like how the rough water looks with the water falling into it. It kind of looks like the waterfall is affecting the water. So yeah, I was really happy with how that turned out. The water effects are really nice in Planet Coaster. I've really been enjoying how they look. I did post this on a Facebook group, and apparently for consoles that it does add to that object meter that it does take up quite a bit of space, so that's quite unfortunate for console players. But being on a PC, it's really exciting. Just the different looks you can give and how the sun shines through the water, and sun reflecting on the water, reflecting on the anything that you put in it. Just looks really good. So yeah, really excited about that. I tried my hand in making sort of like a sculptured hill, and I sort of just gave up. So that's why this looks the way it is. But from a distance, doesn't look too bad. So, and there's this. Look, you could say it looks majestic, but yeah, it definitely doesn't look like a classical type horse. I mean, it's quite cute, but yeah, just not what I was expecting when I chose this sculpture. But it's yeah, it's got character, and for a family ride, I think the kids would love it. So there's my majestic horse with water spouting from its head. Again, the way the water looks, I just really like it. You can make it's just very easy to make really good looking things. So yeah, it's very nice. As we go along, this is a a vintage water coaster, which I added. It's just down the way from the main water ride in the park, but I kind of thought since this area could be, was a carnival, I thought this could be a water ride that was sort of heritage listed, and the park wanted to keep because of its heritage, and so yeah, I added that in, and tried my hand at creating sort of submarine type logs, which I don't think look too bad. Like, especially with the flumes, they have sort of a limited area that you can build, otherwise it'll clip through it, and they're clipping through it a little bit, which I don't really mind. But yeah, it's for me, I kind of was just a little bit sick of just the log aesthetic, so I feel like the sub kind of look is also a little bit vintage. Further down the path, we have Max Spinner. So this is a more modern edition. Yeah, this is just a little compact family spinner. I'm still not quite sure about how realistic their friction is, because it does seem like that the coasters slow down quite quickly. I have no idea how realistic it is, but yeah, this is a very short little spinner, and yeah, sort of meandering around the sort of garden setting again. Yeah, in the lore, I just imagined that there was probably an older ride here that they had to demolish, and they replaced it with a brand new modern coaster. This over here, got a nice spiral slide, which I really like. I think they look great. And also these sails are really great as well, because it kind of gives the option to create an undercover queue without having to use the bulky building materials. Yeah, so it's really cool. So we go further down. This is sort of got the sort of like old log cabinish for when it was probably, just a gardens, to this sort of more vintage fair type motif with the dome sort of facade. And yeah, got a teacups ride as well as a wooden wild mouse. Got one of these in Sydney, Australia, at Luna Park, and it's the old. I think might be the oldest wild mouse in the world now. Not quite sure. I think there was one at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, but I think that might have recently closed down. Not sure. Don't quote me on that. But yes, this I kind of took some liberty with this. I generally try to make things look as realistic as possible, but I also then try to, if I don't want it to be just a complete copy of the world, I take license and think, well, in a world where this type of coaster really took off and was really developed, perhaps there would be a big winding helix on it. And so I added this. So I'm sure you get rammed into the side of the car as you hurtle down into oblivion. Yeah, there's a real annoying quirk when you try to take a POV of one of these types of rides, because it'll anticipate the corner and the camera will start turning before the corner and will turn really sharply, and that's very frustrating when trying to get a POV. So I haven't got a POV of this yet on my channel. Anywho, hopefully they'll fix that. There's probably quite a few other things that they need to fix first. It's a great game, don't get me wrong. Yeah, so this is just like another little plaza of shops, a little pizza place, probably a more modern building that was added after these. And a little toilet block as well, just to finish off the video. What a highlight. So next week, we'll be checking out this little more modern section with the GCI. But for now, I'll be signing off, and if you enjoyed this video, just give it a like and perhaps even subscribe. But apart from that, have a good week, and I'll see you next week.